In this clip, we are going to take a look at artboards with respect to Adobe XD, and I think the best way to explain artboard is to simply show your artboard in action. So what we have here is a finished application, and I'm previewing this using the desktop preview feature. So this was built toward an iPhone in mind, and this is the first screen that the user will see. Now this is a lot of times referred to splash screen, and this screen here is actually the first artboard in my project. So the artboard is well kind of like page, if you will. It holds all of the graphics that are to display at a given time. In this case, the first artboard is the splash screen. Now if I interact with the screen, you can see that I get a new screen. So in Adobe XD, I have to have an additional artboard to hold all those graphics, and the process just going on and on as I navigate through this application, including backward navigation. I'm experiencing those different artboards. So now that you've seen artboard in action, let's take a look at what this looks like in Adobe XD. I'm just going to close the preview here, and now we can see this finalized document. And you can see here the different screen that we are being represented there in that preview. Each of those screens has its own artboard, and one of the things that you can do with artboards is to name them. So you can see those little text bits here above each artboard. Well, now let's take a look at how we create those artboards. So here we are at our document that we created earlier, and one of the first thing I want to do is just to name the first artboard. So right here above the artboard, you can see that the name is whatever device size is. I'm just gonna double click in that area, and then I can give it a new name. I'll type entire key or return key to accept that name. Now what about creating a new artboard? So if I go over here into my toolbox, there is the Artboard tool that we discovered earlier. I'm just gonna select that tool, and then I'm gonna click here immediately to the right of the previous artboard. Now I could continue this process and just add a few more artboard here. Next, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can see all those artboards. And I'm gonna to use just the standard zoom out command here of Ctrl-, and next time we use another keyboard shortcut, and that is to simply hold down the spacebar. Now this works on both Mac and PC, and holding the spacebar give you a hand tool. In the hand tool allow you to pan around the screen. So it's a lot like scrolling in both directions at the same time. To use the tool, you simply hold down the spacebar, then mouse over to the area you want to scroll to. Once you get there, click and hold with the mouse button and drag in the opposite direction. So I'm just scrolling to where I want to be when I release the spacebar. I go back to whatever tool I was using, in this case the Artboard tool. Now I'm clicking with the Artboard tool, we'll create one of the preset size as we just saw. But you could also click, hold and drag with this Artboard tool to create a custom sized artboard. Now with this new customized artboard displayed, I can go over here to my properties inspector, and I can look at the width and height of that item. If I don't like this, I can certainly change it. Let's say I wanted this to be 900 wide by 720 pixel tall. So that's one of the really cool things about Adobe XD, is that you can design for multiple screen sizes all within the same document. Now what if I don't want this custom sized artboard? Well, with it selected, I just hit the delete key to remove it. Now I still have my Artboard tool, and I don't have any of my artboard selected over here. But then over here on the right hand side of my screen, and my property inspector I can see all of those various presets. So let's say that I wanted to, let's say, develop for one of the tablet devices. I just choose the standard iPad here. I'm going to click on this preset, and what you will see happen is Adobe XD goes ahead and create a new artboard immediately to the right of the last artboard. Now if I go back to clicking with my Artboard tool, I will continue to create those iPad sized artboard. But notice how they are always going to the right of the previous artboard. You can move your artboards around to do this. You are gonna go over the toolbox, grab the selection tool, and then you can grab the name of the artboard. This is usually the easiest way to select artboards, is to click the name of the artboard, and then I can drag this artboard by the name. So I can click and hold, and I can drag and drop it down here somewhere. Now once again using the spacebar shortcut, here I'm just going to center those artboards, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab the other iPad sized artboard and drag it down here as well. Just remember that for each new screen experience you are going to need an artboard to represent that experience. Now in the next clip we are going to start filing up this artboard by exploring some of the drawing tools.